We've come to Organ Pipe National Monument.
Yes, it's about, a couple hours west of Tucson, Arizona.
The middle of nowhere. So it's the second loneliest road in the United States, from what we can tell.
It's not officially that, but it was pretty desolate on the drive here for sure. It's right on the border of Mexico, so it's in the very southern part of Arizona. And yay, Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument has 2 dog-friendly trails right from the campground. So that's what we're headed to do this evening, hopefully catch a good sunset. Well, it was just a matter of time before this Florida girl did this. Yeah. Don't wear Birkenstocks into the desert, dum-dum. I'm gonna need you to save me. What are you doing? No, don't do it like that. I don't like it like that. Here, hold the dogs. I'll get it.
I get it.
No, I don't like it like that. No, please let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get it. Oh. This is not a good start. They're just all pulling out one by one. You think that's the right way to do it?
Unless you want it in your hands too.
I mean, this is how I've been pulling them out of Madly. I haven't been using rocks.
How's that going?
It's not going well at all. I don't understand why it worked for Madly, but it won't work for me. Oh. Oh. I knew I should have put shoes on. So dumb. Alright, come help. Gotta make it quick. Oh, you're making it worse.
1, 2, 3.
Oh. 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 Oh, I get it. I get it. Ow. I'm trying to get him.
1,
yeah.
2, 3.
Just do it. You don't have to count. Just do it.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, right at the end of the toe. That hurt.
Okay.
Oh, look, it's bleeding.
Yeah.
Oh, so stupid. Frickin' desert. I hate
Wear flip-flops in the desert with jumping cholla.
Actually, to be fair, I kicked it. I walked off the trail to get a cool shot. And yeah.
Tomorrow we carry our Leatherman.
And wear shoes.
And wear shoes.
We are headed into the park to do some exploring.
We're headed to do the Ajo Mountain Drive. If you go to the visitor center, they have a guide. There's stops all along the drive. You can go through here and they're all numbered and you can get some information. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, and there are several hikes along that drive, and when we asked the rangers for recommendations on hikes, they all seem to be on that drive.
Yep, there was 3 rangers there and all 3 of them kind of agreed that's where their favorite hikes were. So we're going to go check it out.
Yep. Well, this is the park's namesake behind me. This is the Oregon Pipe Cactus. It was named when the first European settlers made their way west. They saw this cactus and said it looked like the pipes of an organ. It's actually a tropical plant. Its origins are the tropics of Central America, but as the Ice Age ended and temperatures started warming, it started migrating its way north, and about 3,500 years ago made its way to North America. It is really susceptible to frost, so when you see the little indents in the stalks, that's actually a sign that there is a short frost. If there's a prolonged frost, it will completely kill the cactus. This is the only place in North America where the Oregon pipe cactus grows naturally.
We are headed out on the Arch Canyon Trail.
So we're getting some conflicting information on the length of this trail. The brochure from the visitor center says it's 2 miles round trip.
The sign at the entrance here says 1.2 miles, so.
It's described as an easy to moderate trail with very little change in elevation, so.
Just gets you to closer to the arch, get you a little better view of it, and get you out into the wilderness a little bit. So something we find unique about this section of desert, it seems like every section of desert we go to there's something unique about it, but this one has a lot of greenery.
I think actually because of that makes it one of my favorite desert landscapes. Being Floridians, I tend to miss the color green when we get in the desert, but this desert's been really pretty, really enjoying it. It's the Sonoran Desert, by the way.
Yep, got some great mountain views. The sunsets have been beautiful. The greenery going all the way up the mountain with the cactus is pretty awesome. So just enjoying it, it's pretty cool.
Total malarkey that there's no elevation on this trail. It has been a gradual up. Hasn't been bad, but we're both a little bit out of breath. So I'm having to go a little slower because my body's just not cooperating and I need more breaks. I'm honestly not sure if I'll make it to the end or not, so I told TJ to go ahead because one of us should get to see it. But I'm continuing on slowly, so hopefully I'll make it there.
So Bree was struggling a little bit back there with the climbing and set me on up ahead to make it to the arch. And I almost turned back at one point, but I'm glad I didn't because it is absolutely beautiful up here. The view from up top here is incredible. Just a fun little rock scramble. It was tough. It was pretty tough getting to this point, but pretty awesome. That's it. Let's go back down and get Bree. Well, look who decided to join the party.
I made it!
That was way harder than they led us to believe.
This is not an easy spot to get to.
The beginning of the trail is not too bad, a little rolly.
Right.
But the end is pretty tough.
So I think that it some point we were no longer on the Arch Canyon Trail. I think that the end of where it's easy and switches to hard is the end of that trail and the start of maybe what they call the social trail. But there's no information in any of the hiking guides about the social trail, so we had no idea what to expect. I would consider that a difficult trail.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if your goal is to see the Arch, don't make the effort to come all the way up here.
You're better off seeing it from down below. There's a trail that comes closer to it from down below.
Yeah, so from the scenic drive, the parking lot for this hike, and probably the first half of this hike, you get pretty good but far views of the Arch.
Right.
We hoped that in making the effort to come all the way to the top, we could get right next to the Arch. But unfortunately, unless you do some pretty sketchy rock scrambling that we're not comfortable doing, it just seems too unsafe, you really don't get any views of the Arch up here. You're kind of either on top of it or just to the side of it. That said, there is an incredible view of the valley and desert below us, and actually you can see our van, you can see the parking area and our van down there. It's like a little tiny ant. It really gives you some perspective of just how far we've come on this hike. Yeah.
One more thing we forgot to mention. If you come here after, we're told this anyway, it hasn't rained here since we've been here, but if you come here after a hard rain, like the next day, these temporary waterfalls will show up, and they say it's absolutely spectacular. There's quite a few of them, and it's something you don't normally get to see here.
Yeah, especially in the desert. This is one of those instances where it's very easy to not know which way to go, because there's a trail leading off that way, and there's what looks like maybe a trail leading that way. I don't know. There could be multiple trails. And I don't see any Karens.
Maybe call out her name.
Call out her name?
Karen.
Karen! Well, we made it back to the trailer from our drive. Unfortunately, only one of these guys made it back. I guess getting in and out of the van, one of them fell out and is now on the 21-mile drive. So that stinks. It just was not my day today.
So you may notice the hood in the van is up, and we were told by the rangers here that they have what's called pack rats. Mm-hmm. And that they can climb up in your engine compartment, and they like to chew on wiring and things like that and make nests. And
they're destructive little
very
buggers.
Destructive. Yes. They said there's not a huge problem here, but she said just to be safe that they on their own personal vehicles, they'll leave the hoods open to try to avoid them getting in there.
So let's talk about this campground. This campground is amazing. It's a really nice campground. It's the Twin Peaks Campground, which is within the National Monument here at Oregon, Pipe Cactus National Monument, all the way on the southern end of the park. So I think it was like a good 15-20 mile drive from the point where you enter the park on the northern end.
Where you see the sign anyway coming in.
Right, till you get down to the visitor center in this campground, which this is the only, there are 2 campgrounds inside the park, but this is the only one that fits travel trailers.
Yeah, the other one only has like 4 spaces, and I think they're all 10 cents.
So this one is $20 a night dry camping. They do have water fill stations, a dump station, and solar showers. So there is running water here, just not at each site. And it's just a really nice campground. There's vegetation between all of the sites. All of the sites have paved level pads.
Pretty level pads.
Yeah.
Fairly level.
I don't know, it's just surprising. This is probably one of the more off the beaten path parks that we've come to. I mean, we're 5 miles from the border to Mexico. There wasn't...
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere for sure.
It is, but the National Park Service definitely put some money into this campground, and it's really nice. We've really enjoyed our stay here. So we're keeping dinner simple tonight. We have previously made some chili that we vacuum sealed and stuck in the freezer. And so we're just going to heat that up for dinner tonight. We love when we're making things like this to make a little bit extra and then throw it in the freezer, because it makes nights like tonight that much easier to not have to worry about dinner. The trick to vacuum sealing liquid stuff is that you have to pre-freeze it in like a Tupperware container, and then when it's more solid, go ahead and put it in the vacuum sealer. He got so far away I couldn't get him anymore. All right, well, 5 minutes later and dinner is ready. We have some pretty regular things in rotation that we make and freeze. We like to do a salsa chicken, which is really simple. It can be done in the Instant Pot or a crock pot or stovetop if you want. And you just mix literally salsa and chicken together with some spices. I think it's adobo seasoning and some other stuff. That one we make pretty regularly and make in large quantities because it can be used in tacos, quesadillas. You can add black beans to it. You can add cream cheese to it. It's really versatile. Another one that we make a lot, and I actually have in the freezer right now, is chicken tikka masala, which is an Indian dish. And the other day I actually made some... I can't pull it out of there because it's frozen and they're pretty good, but I made some spaghetti squash, which is way more than we can eat all at once. So I went ahead and froze those into a few containers as well. So just having things on hand ready to go quickly is really important. When you're tired, when you've had a long day, whether it be a travel day or a hiking day, or you just don't feel like cooking kind of day, you've got stuff ready to go and you're not tempted to go out to eat. Although that's part of the fun too when you're visiting areas, but you do have to find a balance, because at the end of the day, this isn't vacation. We can't go out to eat every night. All right, so, chili fixins. We've got some raw onions, some shredded cheese, and some sour cream. So, however you like it.
We are headed out of Oregon Pipe today.
Yeah, it's been a really fun stop. I feel like we say that about every stop, but we're not totally in love with deserts, but this has been a really unique, and I don't know, we just enjoyed this desert.
They may be growing on us, I don't know, but it seems like every one we go to now, every section of desert we hit is quite different from the last, which is kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
And this one definitely was different than any other one that we've been to, so
right.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please be sure to give us a thumbs up.
And if you want to keep following along, make sure you subscribe.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys.